All right, all right. Shot Callers podcast coming up soon. We're starting a little later tonight, you all, but thank you for tuning in. If you are, tap in and stay tuned with us as we get ready to have a conversation.
They not like us. They not like us.
Yo, what's going on? I'm gonna pass to my homie Calvo Griffin.
All right, and I'm passing the mic to the person. No, I'm just playing. Welcome, welcome. We have made it to episode 4. This is amazing. Thank you all for tuning in with us tonight to the Shot Callers podcast. We came on a little bit later, work outside of the podcast had us a little tied up, but we are here to tune in and have a great conversation with you all tonight. Again, you all, my name is Kalvo G. I'm your host, along with my boy.
Yabui on the
Your
production.
boy, they waiting on who next.
Yep.
So, y'all, I don't have no jingle. I need somebody to make something for me. We've talked about this. Like, man, your boy, it's so iconic. Like everywhere you go, you just hear it, and it's just like, ah, man, I need one for myself. But no, great to be back. It is, doing the podcast. I feel like the weeks just go by so much faster.
Oh,
Do
I
you
know.
feel that
Yeah,
same way?
definitely. I'm like, oh my god, we gotta do a podcast tonight.
I
Especially I
know.
gotta do multiple podcasts on Wednesday, then Thursday comes, and then you come with your preparation. So it's always wonderful. I should switch the camera, but it's on you.
Yeah, so if you don't know, Yabui, not only is he the tech whiz of our own podcast, he is the tech whiz for anyone's podcast. He does a lot of production for other people's podcasts within the city. So if you are looking to start a podcast, Yabui's unavailable because we've already used them. No, I'm just
Yeah.
playing.
Let
No.
me just give a shout out to the two podcasts. First podcast that I do is a conservative podcast. So if that's your cup of tea, I'm the production for Make the Right Play with Lisan and Carlos Villa. Super intelligent, great preparation, great energy. Also, they starred in the film behind me, Southern Village, right here.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. Also, we have the pregame podcast hosted by LD and Paul. Last night we had Justin Gatlin and Adron Chambers, Pensacola legends, Olympic champion, World Series champion. You know, something light, something light. But let me hand it off to Calvo.
All right, so that is the plug. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check out those other podcasts because they are great as well. But also, speaking of podcasts, we are. Can you pull up? I'm gonna show you what number it is. If you will pull up the graphic real quick before I make this big announcement, I got a little excited there, you all. If you'll pick up number 4. Uh, but speaking of podcasts, we are officially
Boom.
on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So not only can you listen to us live, but you can take us on the go wherever you go and listen to us with your music as long as it doesn't interfere with what we're saying on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
So either you're watching your kids, washing your dishes, cleaning clothes, cleaning the house, hanging out, driving, and not texting, you can check us out.
Yes. All right. So let's get into the conversation for the night. So, each week we start off talking about cinema news, current events. And so what I have tonight is, did you hear it actually broke today? Did you see or hear about the news that's going on with Sundance?
No, I did not. What's the news?
So Sundance for the past 40 years has been taking place in Salt Lake City, Utah, right?
Yes.
I have not had the opportunity to go
Shout out to the Mormons. Go ahead.
Right. I have not had the opportunity to go to Sundance. However, I have had some colleagues to go.
Uh-huh.
They usually have it at the top of the year in Salt Lake City, Utah, in the mountains. From what I heard, it's very cold and it's usually snowing. But however, it's been there for 40 years. But I think like over last year or so, there was some bidding wars on if they would keep it there, if they wanted to, change it up. And it was announced today that they are now going to be relocated to Boulder, Colorado.
Oh, that's a nice destination.
Is it?
I mean, sometimes you gotta move, maybe, change it up a little bit, but
I mean,
well, I guess they both have skiing and it's both in the mountains, but
yeah. So yeah, they released a statement saying, after 40 years in Park City, oh, sorry, not Salt Lake City, but in Park City, Utah. The Sundance Film Festival will now be moved to Boulder, Colorado, starting in 2027. So I guess, I said I hadn't made it to Utah. I have next year. So next year, I'm not gonna make no promises, but I would love to go to Sundance and more importantly, be accepted into Sundance.
oh yes, that would be dope.
So all right, and so outside of that, not too much other news do I have for this week. Have you been watching anything new on TV or anything?
No, Jermaine's working on something, and he introduced me to a movie on Amazon Prime called "The David and Goliath," or I don't know. It's about the
About
the story of David and Goliath, but it's like a different take on it. So, and it looks really, really interesting. I watched like half an episode, and it looks great. I'm gonna try and watch it tonight.
okay, yeah, no, I haven't really. That sounds pretty cool. I have to check that out. Speaking of that, I started smiling when you were talking. because I saw a Facebook post earlier about David and Goliath. It was just saying like it was somewhere on the lines of like David attacked Goliath and but the prayer was for David and not for Goliath. So like, don't be a Goliath or something like that. I know I probably messed it up, but it was pretty funny. If I could find it while we're talking during the podcast, I'll try to like find that back. I really just screwed that up. But speaking of watching something on Amazon, that's a good leadway into like our conversation for the night that I would like to have with you. Is like, do you stream? Are you a streamer? Do you watch movies on TV or are you stream movies or do you still go to the movie theater?
Ooh, I mean, just at home because it's just a lot cheaper and a lot more accessible. When you go to movies, you kind of plan to go to the movies. You gotta, and then you have to purchase popcorn. You gotta have popcorn. And then you have to get Coke or whatever soft drink. Then candy for the kids. So you're talking about like $150. you know, or you could just, make sure your wife comes, brings a big purse, stuff some snacks in there, some food, dinner, some sushi. You know, and make it. I mean, that'd be about the same price, right?
No,
But
you.
yeah, I normally stream though. It's just more convenient, and you can sit there and binge for like 6 7 hours and watch a whole season of your different movies and programs. So yeah, definitely streaming is what I'm doing now. I don't even know why we have a TV at home. TV's off, and everybody's looking at iPads and iPhones.
I just had this conversation about it. The actually earlier today when you were talking about watching something on your iPhone. So my boy Jeff, shout out to Jeff. He was recommending this new TV show. You all who are watching or listening may have saw it. It's called The Studio. It's on Apple TV. Uh,
Hmm.
uh, and he was talking about how good it really is. And I was telling him, so I pay for an Apple TV subscription, but I never watch it. And my thing is the reason why I never watch it is because I can't cast Apple TV to my Google Chrome.
Oh yeah, look at the beef.
And right, terrible. Uh, and so my thing is like I never watch it because I can't cast it, right? However,
But your TV is not like a smart TV. You need the
my
Chrome
TV
to.
dumb, bro. I don't
Oh,
got no
okay.
smart TV, but I mean I make it smart with the Google Chrome. But the on the flip side though, he was like, "Well, like, do you not have a smart TV in your house, right?" And so the one smart TV that is in my house is in my bedroom, right?
Okay.
But I never watch TV in my bedroom. When I'm in my bedroom, the only thing I watch TV on is on my iPad. And so he was like, "Why don't you just watch it on your iPad?" I'm like, "I don't think about it," which is weird, you know?
Why don't you just hook up like a cable from your iPad and connect it with the little iPhone to HDMI adapter and
So
plug it
I
in?
used to do that with my laptop, but it
Mm-hmm.
was just,
Just yeah,
we live
it's
in an
not wireless.
advanced technological society where if
Okay, with your non-smart TV.
if it's a wire, no. And so, but anyway, for myself, going back to the topic, like I still go to the movie theaters, bro. Like I just kind of grew up to like going to the movie theater. So, I'm a boy from Alabama. My city was a small city, and so we didn't have like a lot of outlets growing up.
Okay.
And so like the one thing like we did growing up, which was like the main thing to do in Troy at the time, was go to the movie theater. So like I just went to the movie. It's always been like an outing for me. So even now, like I just went to the movie theaters last week. Oh, I went to the movies last week and I saw Magazine Dreams with
Oh,
Jonathan Majors. We've been
how was
talking.
that?
Bruh, it
Really?
was so good. Check it out, y'all. Y'all please go support this film because my guy, he did his thing. It is a Oscar worthy performance. Man, when I tell
Here in
you,
Pensacola, you watch it? Is
yeah,
it
it's
at the
at
AMC?
AMC. Yeah, it's at both of them.
Oh wow.
So y'all go to AMC and watch Magazine Dreams starring Jonathan Majors. No matter what your opinion is about the guy, he is talented and it shines through in this film. Bro, I want to talk about watching TV shows this past week, but I did watch this movie. Man, it is amazing. That man, he went off the rail for this performance. Like, it was a lot. We talked about it in the news and stuff in the previous podcast. Uh, but like, it was a lot of news and buzz leading up to it. But after seeing it, man, that man, he had to go to some dark
Oh, really?
areas. Like, he took it there, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's intense. Um,
How was it like the cinematography, the scoring?
yes,
Just
all of it all together was really good. So yeah, Jonathan Majors, of course, himself doing his performance was really good. I really enjoyed that. The cinematography, man, A1. It was like very good. Uh, and the scoring, it ranged from like a good, string cinematic wise, but it like listen and mixed with like rock and opera. It just
what?
to really just match the setting of what was taking place. I'm like, man, I was all in. So speaking of which, when I talk about magazine or mention magazine dream, referring to our conversation from last week, right? I would definitely refer to it as a film and not a
Yeah,
movie.
definitely, definitely.
So if you all missed the conversation from last week's episode, definitely go back and give that a re-listen. So we broke down the difference of what a film is and what a movie is. And referring back to the conversation, we had a really good engaging conversation with our audience. Yabui, in the folder, I found this quote. I think it's number 3. I found this quote from a famous film acclaimed film director, David Fincher, who is known for films such as Seven. Well, I believe it has Morgan Freeman in it.
Yeah, I
Um,
love Seven.
yeah, Fight Club.
Oh,
Yeah,
Fight Club.
yeah, he also directed Fight
Oh,
Club, and he also directed Gone Girl, which is you seen Gone
I
Girl?
haven't seen Gone
Ah
Girl.
man, bro, with I think it's Ben Affleck and I can't think of the woman's name. Is it Ben Affleck? I think it is. But anyway, Gone Girl, check that out, bro. But anyway, David Fincher had this quote that I later found after the podcast, where he really broke down the nature of the conversation we had, and he said a movie is made for an audience, and a film is made for both the audience and the filmmaker.
Yes, that is the best definition.
It is. And so what we had concluded from the podcast conversation last week was like a lot of people who make films make it, on a personal level, like they make it kind of artsy and but at the nature of it is really personal to the filmmaker as opposed to like the movie is for like a general broader audience. And so speaking of magazine dreams, I definitely feel like this movie is a film. It is so great. So y'all go check that out. But also, this really was even better. I think I enjoyed it even more because I saw it in the movie theater. Like for me, going there and being in the movie theater, it's just like an experience. Like like I said, growing up, it was an outing and it was an experience. And even as an adult, like it's a outing and an experience. Like being able to like you said, get the popcorn, sit, and just really just be consumed with like everything that goes on. Like I'll sometimes leave movies feeling like I was like engulfed and I was like a part of the movie.
Yeah, it's
Um
definitely a much greater experience because you're just secluded. You have the sound. You just have your 100% attention on watching the film. So yeah, definitely movie theaters are the best. It's just with time and kids and family and everything, it's tough to get out there. And you can't really. I went to the movies once by myself. I went to the movies once by myself to go see not Up. It's the one after Get Out.
Us.
No, the one with the aliens.
Nope.
Nope.
Hmm.
Yeah, got in trouble for watching it by myself. So yeah, I also fell asleep like halfway through the movie and woke back up at the end.
You know what? So when I saw Nope, I fell asleep too. Well, I dozed off. But I also so me, I'm a hardcore moviegoer, right? And if it's a movie that I want to see, I will not wait for anyone. I go to the movies a lot by myself. Me and group of my friends, we have a movie going group, so we are like in there. But I'm also like, because of social media now, I when a movie comes out that I like, I go like opening night. So which is usually like Thursday night before it opens up on Friday, whether that be like a midnight showing or not. Like I have to be at the first showing for the film. For the fact that like people spoil stuff now,
Oh
like
yeah.
like and that's even with TV shows. If you don't watch something that's popular, or something that people are interested in, like spoilers be everywhere. And that just if you spoil a show, I'm gonna slap your grandma. No, but for real, because I don't be playing about that, and I hate when people do it. And so I just be having to try to be ahead of it. Um,
But yeah, well, like the movie Nope, I fell asleep. I was just sad because I'm always working and I get tired. But then I went and watched like some reactions to Nope. They started breaking down certain scenes, so I went back and streamed and watched the movie, and I love that movie. I just had to give my undivided attention to it. I watched it in my studio, turned the volume super loud, and try to remember the reaction and all the little nuggets and everything. And yeah, that's definitely a great movie. You just have to pay attention to, especially when he shot it like in dark, pitch dark,
yeah. So
but it was to convey something so cinematic. And man, that was dope.
you know how they shot that movie, right?
Oh, it wasn't day for night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
so they could keep everything sharp. I need to. We need to do a challenge and practice that technique.
let's do it.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Um, so before I move on, let me talk about Nope real quick, yeah. So when I saw Nope, I was really excited about it, and I'm gonna talk about Jordan Peele. Because one thing that I really like about Jordan Peele is not necessarily his films. I do love all of his films, but I love the way he markets his film. And so we'll talk about like marketing with films in a different episode, because I do really want to break that down because it's important. But the way Jordan Peele markets his film is like, he doesn't tell you what the film is about. Like we kind of knew what Nope was about, but we didn't really know
No clue.
what
No
Nope was
clue.
about. And the
Because when you
same
watch them, like, oh my god,
and the
like it's not even
right,
close.
and the same thing with like his other films, Us, Get Out. We had like a tidbit of what we thought we knew going into it, but we didn't know what it was. But anyway, after I first saw Nope, after I watched the movie, I'm like, man, this is shot great, right? It was a great movie experience. The score and all of it was good. But after I left the movie, I was just like, what did I just watch? I was upset. I was like, what did I just watch? Like I did not understand, like the movie. Like I don't it was just a whole bunch of like, all right, spoilers. It was a whole bunch of like, all right, horses, the aliens,
Yeah, that's why
or
that's
origami in the sky.
sometimes I cheat and watch the reaction because even though I'll see all the spoilers and everything, I still want to see how he created the movie. His process. The type of lighting that he used, that day to night technique. All those different things. So I cheat a little bit. I'm still gonna watch the
Yeah.
movie. And then take it for what it's worth and how it was intended.
And so shout out to the employees at AMC, right? So I watched Nope opening at night. And I was just like, ah, I did not like the movie because I didn't understand it. So then I went back to AMC again, right? And AMC has a bar in there, y'all. I never go to the bar, nor do I
What?
really see people go to the bar. But y'all support the bar at AMC.
How
Cause
much are the drinks, bro?
I don't know. But anyway,
Okay.
uh I went to AMC bar right before I went to go see Nope again, then I stopped by the bar. And I was just talking with the bartender, and she broke down the movie for me.
Oh yeah.
She did. She told me, she like, yeah, this happened, so this means that this isn't related to this, and like the monkey is related to the horse, and then yeah, she broke down, like she gave me a good thorough like breakdown of the film. So when I went and watched it again, I understood it, and I was
Exactly.
like, yeah, it made for a better movie experience, and so
So that was a film. That was for filmmakers, not the audience. Because the normal
yeah,
audience would just be bored and go to sleep, or
yeah,
just be clueless.
I do think that like I do think it was a film because like when I look at Nope, for me, shout out to me, my boy John. We be talking about this. We were talking about like Nope, right? Nope is a film where Jordan Peele had success with other movies, and they gave him a lump sum of money. It was just like, hey, you just do what you want to do, and he made Nope. It makes no sense to nobody really but him, but he did it. And so, yeah, when you think about film being personal to the filmmaker, in that sense, I guess you would say that Nope is a film.
I mean, once you get an Oscar under your belt, you can just do what the f you want. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
like for real
I
though.
mean, you have carte blanche and just be creative as you want. I mean, a lot of people go through their whole life and don't win a single Oscar, but yeah, Jordan Peele, and I love Key and Peele.
Yeah,
Everything is
I like that his skits are coming back too because I be watching them on Instagram. And I sometimes stream them on Hulu, which brings us back to streaming, right? So, I do want to just talk about like with movies, right? I think that one thing that I enjoy more with streaming than like movie theaters is like being able to stream TV shows, like be able to go back and watch TV
oh yeah,
shows, but also like with movies too. Like I just remember growing up, right, and you remember too. Like when you went to the movie theaters growing up, right? If you didn't watch it in the movie theaters, right, it seemed like it was like 6 months before it
yeah,
came out on
exactly.
VHS, right? And
Oh my
s-
gosh.
and so like it's like oh shoot, like which in a sense made you want to go to the movie theaters more because you knew it was gonna be like this long time gap before you could get it on I say VHS or even DVD. Which now since streaming has came out, things go to where you can watch it so much easier. And I saw this. I looked it up because I was interested in it. Right. So the theatrical window, right, is what they call like the window between like when the movie is in the movie theaters and when it is like released. It says the period of film stays like the theatrical window. The period of a film stays exclusively in the theaters before being released on streaming or digital. Right. So back in the day, when it was the period between when it was in the movie theaters and when it was on like DVD was a 90-day period, right? So that was like 3 months of just going without
Yeah.
seeing it. But now since streaming is out, it's often less than 45 days.
Oh yeah, definitely. And also, like COVID really had a big effect on that whole period. Because now, like Marvel, didn't they just release one of the movies in the theater and streaming at the same time?
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
And
so
and so when you talk about that, like really, when we think about like COVID, it was so much bad stuff that came out of it, but it's a lot of like good stuff that came out of it because it like really advanced us as a society. Uh, but thinking about how COVID really impacted the movie theater, is that like in 2020, right? For example, in 2020, Warner Brothers released all their movies instead of in the movie theaters to streaming, right? So
yep.
when you think about like during COVID, like all the movie theaters shut down because of well, I say majority of the movie theaters shut down because people couldn't be out, it's social distancing. So major studios had to figure out how to like not lose box office prices. So they, started. That's when streaming really picked up, and they started releasing their films. So I can remember even when the pandemic hit, I was so excited for Mortal Kombat came out, right?
Hmm.
And I was looking forward to watching it in movie theaters. But because of the pandemic, uh, they released it straight to HBO. And so HBO was like one of the main streaming networks where they made it to where you could like stream like where instead of doing the theatrical releases, they just stream straight to HBO network. Uh, which when you think about HBO is the home box office network, and so a lot of movie theaters started like releasing their movies there. Um, and even I have see here where it says where Disney Plus tried Premiere Access, where they started they so give them the rewind real quick. COVID, the studios started releasing movies to streaming platforms, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first one being HBO. Disney was the first one to offer $30 rentals for new movies. So you could just, what they call video on demand, really. Disney Plus was like the first one to do, which I think that's kind of cool too. Then it shows where like yeah, like theaters closed worldwide, pushing audiences to stream more. So that really like led to the rise of streaming.
Exactly. Exactly. What during COVID, what TV shows did you catch up on or binge for 20? Because I binged like all of Breaking Bad. I always heard it was such a great TV series, and then I watched the whole thing. One of my favorites, Ozark. Love Ozark.
So I watched like the first 2 seasons of Ozark, and I'm telling y'all, I'm terrible at watching shows. Y'all, I will like start a show, and then I will not finish it. But I do remember. So I started watching Insecure, the show on HBO with Issa Rae. It was like one of the highlights of the pandemic for me watching it. Cause it still kind of came out live. And then like other shows, I go back and like rewatch shows. So I rewatched like Scandal, and I took that time to really start watching a lot of movies that I probably should have watched that I had never watched. So I do remember like during the pandemic, I watched Juice for the first time.
Really?
Yeah, right. I watched like Menace to Society. I watched The Temptations for the first time.
What?
Bro, I don't be watching movies. And so like a lot of people, be referencing lines, and I just smile
I'm
like
gonna
I
have to take your B card.
no,
Menace to Society.
bro. I had saw like my family was
What'd you say about my mama? What'd you say about my mama?
and so like my family was a Friday family, so I grew up like Friday was big in the house, and so
Temptations?
yeah, that was
Something
a
something Otis.
and so
Oh,
I get that line. Can we just give one more for that line? For the fact that I don't know if you know this, Yabui, but my middle name is Otis,
oh Lord.
and
So
so I get
all
the
these memes, all these little sayings, you were just in the jargon like, what are they talking about?
no, I know, like I knew where it came from. And of course, I had probably seen the scene, um, like so many movies. Like you see the scenes and stuff, or you see different scenes from the movies. But like, I had never watched the movie itself in entirety, and so yeah, I watched like that. What else did I watch? I watched a whole bunch of like just movies that like older movies that I just should. I watched Pulp Fiction for the first time.
I watched that in the movie theater. Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, I watched it for the first time at home, bro. I will say, Tubi, Tubi had all the old movies on there, so I just took advantage of it, and I went back and watched.
Wait, let me go and play this, bro. Let me go to play this. Hopefully.
Nobody's bigger than.
Okay, hold on. Let me switch it real quick. Let me rewind it. We gotta play this, bro. And to those who don't know, hope we don't get demonetized. Oh, man.
Group. Nobody's bigger than the group.
Y'all ain't stupid. I'm the one selling the records. They coming to see me.
They coming to see the Temptations.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. You wish you could work it the way I do. But you can't. Because there is only one David Ruffin. I'm the best.
Yeah. Hey, just go off base here. Oh, 1 second. Oh Lord. Turn off. We're gonna get demonetized. Okay, my bad. So on set with the actors, have you run into any David Ruffins?
I feel like, actually, like on a serious note, no. I've been fortunate enough to work on some really great sets where like I don't like everyone's been really humble workers. I'm probably the David Russman Ruffman of the set. Cause it's all about me. I wrote it. I'm directing it. Like, what more do you want? Like, y'all are actors in this, but no, I'm just joking. Please.
Y'all ain't nothing without Kalvo Griffin. I'm the David Ruffin in this beat.
They did come see Otis.
Yes. Unfortunately, I have worked with a lot of David Ruffins. Really not gonna talk about it, but I have.
But you know what? I think that just comes with the industry, bro. Like people in our line of work just have it. It's it's ego. You just feel like it's all about you. And but I mean, when we talk about David Ruffman, do you, do you think he carried the group?
I mean, it was more like a team, but do you watch basketball?
Hmm. I
Okay,
mean,
so
yeah.
Golden State Warriors, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were great. Temptations,
Mm-hmm.
but then they had KD, David Ruffin. So kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I can feel that. I can feel that.
I mean, even though they won a championship without him, but still, they were just undefeated or just unbeatable when they had KD, David Ruffin.
Let's just get one for the David Ruffman. All right. So, did you see the Temptations in theaters?
No,
Did they even go to theaters?
I watched it on Amazon Prime. I actually bought it on Amazon Prime
Really?
to watch it, or did I rent it? I actually bought it because I can go back and watch it again. It's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. So I watched it on Tubi too, cause yeah, I be on Tubi. Speaking of Tubi, streaming services, right? Specifically Tubi. Do you think that like you be watching Tubi movies?
Mm, let me see. What which? These ones right here. Boom. Here we go. Sacred and What the Heart Wants. I know I just don't like commercials. So I mean, on YouTube, I pay for premium
Oh,
YouTube. I hate ads and commercials. So I try to watch anything without commercials. So many ads on YouTube. I don't have that much time to watch movies. So no.
yeah. See, yeah, no. I be watching Tubi, but I don't be watching Tubi movies like that though. Um, unless it's something that's referred to me. So this is my biggest thing with streaming services overall, right? And I think this is why maybe I like going to the movie theaters more than I like going and watching streaming stuff. Cause like, bro, I be getting overwhelmed. Like when I open up Netflix, I be like, man, it's too many. Like I can spend a good 30 minutes trying to find something to watch. Like, cause it's just too many options.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely. That's why you should get something for your app TV because man, they have great content. They don't have many options. A lot of this stuff they have out like Severance. I love that.
I've heard great things.
Dope Thief just came out with the guy from
Brian Tyree
Atlanta.
Henry.
Yes, great actor.
Hmm.
Love him. That's a. I mean, all the top five on Apple TV that's showing on their top five, they're all great.
Yeah, and so one thing that I do notice about Apple TV, TV shows, uh, and I recently had a conversation about this, is that Apple TV really puts a lot into their production. Like, everything I've seen from Apple TV, like they're just quality, just
Oh
really
yeah.
like over the top, great. As opposed to like some of the other, platforms and stuff. And so I shout out to Apple TV for that. But yeah, when I be on streaming services, bro, I just be getting overwhelmed. Like it just be too many options. And so a lot of times I just end up reverting back to something that I've seen before instead of watching something new, which is probably not the best thing for me unless it's something that like I see that like piques my interest. But that's usually 30 minutes after that.
Oh yeah.
I usually like, but I lately I've been finding myself watching a lot of stuff on Hulu.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like I like Hulu. Like I people don't give Hulu the credit that it deserves. Netflix is good, Disney Plus is good, HBO is good, but like Hulu's up there for me, you know. And so I be watching a lot of I watch a lot of movies on Hulu. And I think for me, the movies that I be watching on Hulu are what I would consider films. There are a lot of like films on there that are really made from like I would call like independent filmmakers or like smaller production studios, but the quality of them are like really good. So
Here, I'll go ahead and pull up the list here and kind of show me some things you like here. Maybe. Oh, Anora's on there.
yeah, I just saw that, bro. We got our homework to do. So if you all do not know what Anora is fortunately the movie that won the top at this year's past Oscar. It won Best Film, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, Best Editing, and
Lots
one.
of sex though, right?
You know,
Hmm.
I haven't seen it, but from what I heard, it's about stripper Cinderella finding her man and running from the mafia.
This new version of Pretty Woman. Okay.
So Odessa just came out. It's like a rock opera. I haven't seen it yet. But it stars Kelvin Harrison Jr., who also was in the latest movie Mufasa with Aaron Pierre. That's
Oh,
Mufasa. He played the character Scar. He's a really good actor, but he is an awesome also in some other movies on Hulu that I like. This movie called Loose is on Hulu. It stars him and Octavia Spencer. Let me see what else is up here that I see. All right, Long Legs. It came in theaters. It was pretty good too. Um, Let me see what else. Uh,
they have a lot of stuff on
they
here.
do. Five Premonition. That was a good movie. I don't know if you ever saw that back in the day. I think who was that? Sandra Bullock that starred in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Let me
let's
you
see.
all. Oh, the help's on here. The
Yeah,
proposal. I mean,
yeah.
he's getting a lot of flack, but I love that movie. I mean, I don't know why I love rom coms, but I do. So
I love that for you. Long Legs. It was pretty good. Anger Management. That's what I'm saying. All of these movies are great movies. Force of Nature. I ain't never heard of that before, but um, yeah, bro. Definitely for you all listening, if you all do not get Hulu or have a Hulu subscription, definitely jump on that. This episode is not sponsored by Hulu. However,
if you want to sponsor us, yeah, we'll shill it.
but no, but still going back to like just the overall premise of like streaming and Hulu. I mean streaming and theaters, right? Like, do you think like with the rise of streaming, do you think that like movie theaters will like survive in the next 10 years, or do you think it's gonna be like a great just like everything's just gonna be streaming?
Yeah, they're gonna have to pivot, bro. They're gonna have to offer something more value when you go to a movie theater. It's just difficult to get your family together and then pay those high prices for snacks and food, and then to get everybody to pay attention and watch the movie. Everybody wants to get on their phone. I see people pulling out their phones or watching movies. You see phones up all the time. I mean, unless it's a good movie, of course, but I don't know. They're gonna have to pivot and just think of a different way uh, to use that movie theater space.
Um, so but I also feel like, like some movies, I feel like when you look at movies now, right? A lot of movies that are coming out, I think what they're using to push people to go to the movies is like IMAX, right?
Yeah.
So I know, like, Ryan Coogler has his new movie Sinners coming out, and then when you think about Nope with Jordan Peele, his thing with Nope was like you have to experience in movie theaters because it was shot on IMAX cameras.
Hmm.
And I know that like with Ryan Coogler with his new film Sinners coming out, he's like experiencing it in IMAX, right? And at a time where we thought that, you know, cinema was really on the verge of dying right outside the pandemic, we had one of the most successful movie theater experiences like to the box office, which was Barbenheimer. You know, when the Barbie movie came out
Oh yeah.
and Oppenheimer came out,
I still haven't seen Oppenheimer. I really want to see it, but have you seen it?
I have, bro. I did the whole cinematic movie theater experience for it.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And that's a lot for me to say because I do not like period piece movies, even though it's not that old. You know, it's like it's still a period piece to me. So like I'm not a history buff type of person, and so it just doesn't interest me. But I was all in for Oppenheimer. That it was just good. It was just like, and I don't know if I would watch it at home, but like experiencing it in the movie theaters with like the bomb being dropping and everything that happened, it was just yeah.
I need to watch it.
But outside of like it's about the atomic bomb dropping, right? Outside of the movie though, like it's good, man. It's juice. It's a little scandalous at times. It's Oppenheimer was that guy, y'all gotta go see that.
I know it's at Nolan, right?
Yeah, Christopher Nolan.
And he uses all practical effects. I heard that explosion or that look, he did it all just by practical effects,
Yeah,
no VFX.
they actually like recreated a replica of the bomb, and from what I can gather from what I've seen, like what behind the scenes, they actually like dropped it, and so everything is true to what it was shown.
Wow.
Um, but that movie too, Robert Downey. You like Robert Downey Jr., don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think 'cause I remember. I think we
Tropic
talked about.
Thunder.
Yeah. But bro, he is like the star of Oppenheimer for me. Bro.
Really?
Yeah. You don't realize that
Okay.
he's in
I
it.
need to I need to watch it.
But bro, when I tell you, I think he might have got nominated for an Oscar for that film. If not, have won one. I have to look that up real quick. Uh, but he killed his role, bro. No pun intended. Um, but it was just great. Like
Oh, spoiler, bro. Really?
I don't know if it's a spoiler. I might just be
Okay.
hyping it up, but it was really good. Are you? Yeah, because even like are you?
The
Um,
Downey nominations.
are you looking it up?
Yeah, looking up right now. Oppenheimer. Oh, you won Best Supporting Actor.
He did. Yeah, that's what I thought he had. I thought that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that his first Oscar?
I don't know. But I do remember him being nominated, so I'm glad to know that he won. That was last year because it was like a resurgence of like him as a actor at the Oscars.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so that's pretty good for him.
Oh,
So
he won
are you looking
Best Supporting Actor 2024, 2009, and Best Actor in 1993.
what did he win a Oscar for in 2009? Does it show? Didn't know what movie came out in 2008. But shout out to Robert Downey Jr. because he is an incredible actor as well. But he really showed his acting chops off in Oppenheimer, bro. Like he just had me. That whole movie had me on edge. So if you all have not seen that, go check that out as well. Um, but speaking of like why you looked that up about him, other movies that like really did really good that kind of like brought uh theatrical releases back outside of the pandemic that really, helped build the box office back up to where it could sustain was not only Barbenheimer, right? But when we think about like movies that I would say I know one that really was a great experience for me was I went and saw the latest Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man, not Into the Spider-Verse, but that Beyond the Spider-Verse. That was great too. That was a great cinematic experience. But Spider-Man No Way Home,
Mm-hmm.
you know the one where they brought back all the villains and everything.
Oh, the multiverse?
Hmm.
Yes.
So
Love that.
so that was like a really big event that brought back like the theatrical releases too. It was the first one really outside the pandemic. It brought in like 1.9 billion to the box office.
I wonder how much the budget was.
I don't know, but you know that
A
movie.
billion. They
I
probably just doubled their money. Oh, plus on marketing.
Yeah, but you know that movie was so anticipated, bro, because it had all
Everybody
three.
was in it.
Yeah, and it brought all
Matt
three.
Damon was in it, right? What are we talking about now? I'm sorry.
What are you talking about? You talking
Oppenheimer.
about? Oh no, I mean Oppenheimer was good. I switched over to Spider Man.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm like Matt Damon was in Spider Man.
I'm looking up research and
Oh no, you're good.
Sorry.
We multitasking them over here. Because while we're calling the shots, we're looking them up as well. But no, Spider Man, yeah, No Way Home was definitely like a big box office hit, bro. Um, which makes me think that like I feel like looking at it in the long run, I do believe that like theaters will maintain. Because like with everything, I feel like studios and everything are finding ways to you just gotta adapt with the times, right? So I feel like one, as long as you make good content and like, promote it well, people are gonna want to go see it. And especially depending on what type of movie it is, right? So like for me, it's this new movie. I'm dibbling this and dabbling into horror, y'all. It's this new movie called The Woman in the Yard.
no, I've seen it.
Oh yeah, it's this trailer coming out. It's about this woman who is just she just sits in the yard and she's just basically stalking this family. Uh, but she's like covered in all black and she's just literally just sitting there. And she,
A Karen,
but she's
a black Karen.
she
Karen's a
could.
Karen. Has no race.
She could be for real.
Okay, because I did the research, so Robert Downey actually uh, got nominated for Chaplin and for Tropic Thunder, but the only thing he did win was Oppenheimer.
Oh, shout out to him. But anyway, so this movie's coming out, The Woman in the Yard, right? But because of it just looks good, it's just like for me when I see a good movie, I might be different from other people. Because I do have another friend, shout out to Marcus. Uh he loves to watch like he does on demand a lot with movies. So like even movies that are in the movie theaters, he'll just watch it at home. But me on the opposite end, uh if I see something, I'm like, man, I gotta go like experience it in the movie theater. So shout out to me for keeping movie theaters alive.
Yay! I want to go to. It's just I don't know. Here's Woman in the Yard right here.
Yeah. So see, like she's just literally just sitting outside and she stalks this family and she says, she has this little saying she be saying in the trailer and it's just like it's just kind of creepy. Um,
I mean, it looks spooky.
can you imagine? So, can you imagine that? Just like you at home, and it's just someone just sitting.
And this is actually how she looks in the trailer.
Yeah,
Wow.
and she's just sitting there. She just doesn't leave. She's like, I don't leave where I was invited.
I mean, at least she's out in the open. At least she's not, inside her house and then has a camera snooping.
Yeah, so I saw on this blog I was reading about the movie that one thing that makes this movie stand out is it brings daytime horror back. Because when you think about horror films, a lot of horror films take place at nighttime,
Oh,
and there's not really any horror movies that really take place during the daytime.
The Ring.
I mean,
Watching V.
I mean that's whenever you watch it though, right? Um, like outside of that though,
Scream, Halloween.
they all kind of still took place at nighttime, right?
Yeah, all night.
Yeah,
Nightmare on
and,
Elm Street.
and so there
When you're
was
asleep.
yeah,
So
and so they were saying that this movie is like it brings horror to daylight, pun intended. And so I'm excited about seeing that. I do feel like another thing when you think about like kind of bouncing back to streaming, right? Even as filmmakers, right?
mhm.
A lot of times back in the day, like as an independent filmmaker, right? the main thing was like, all right, I want to make this good movie and I want it to be in movie theaters, right? But I feel like now streaming has really changed the game on things because like now as a filmmaker, we're like, I don't think like for me with films, I still would love to do like a theatrical release for a film that I make. However, I feel like a lot of filmmakers nowadays are just like, like they don't care about going to the movie theaters at all. Like it's not like it doesn't excite them. They're like, all right, I want to make a movie and I want to get it on the streaming platform because now streaming platforms make it to where like people can access your movie a lot easier as opposed to like going to a movie theater. So I get that. But because there are so many now avenues as independent filmmakers to where you can like streaming made the dream accessible, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Where like you being a filmmaker, you can now make a film and get it on the platform. It may not be the platform that you want, but like it's accessible to where it can be streamed on the platform to reach a wider audience, right? However, when you think about that, right, going back to what I said, I feel like because, and I just want to hear your thoughts on this too. So because like it's accessible for filmmakers to make content. I won't just leave it to films, but like content and put it on platforms, streaming platforms. Now I feel like there's such a excess of content on platforms where like for me when I was saying like I log on to Netflix or whatever platform or streaming services I log on to, like I get overwhelmed sometimes because it's so much to cipher through and pick from. Um
I think everybody's more focusing on episodics, you know? Like right now, going back to the definition of film and movie, I think right now, a lot of the movies are movies and all the episodics are films. You know, they have more time to develop the story, like Ozark,
yeah.
you know, those are more films. I guess they could spend more time developing, you know, that visual for filmmakers rather than like all these Netflix movies coming out. They're all like cookie cutter, you know. There's movies, just entertain, and then, you know, wham bam, next movie.
I know that's what I'm saying. So like I feel like because of that, like on streaming services, it's so much content, right?
Mhm.
Um, but like, is that a good thing? Do you think that's a good thing?
And
Cause
that's just the United States. You ever do the VPN hack and just watch Netflix around the world?
no, bro.
The best.
And you know what? Let's expand though, because even on Netflix, right? Um, they have really started like showcasing more content from around the world. Like I know I see a lot of like content from Africa on there. They have a lot of like content like Asian content or Middle East, like just pretty much from around the world where you can watch like anything now with subtitles, right? Um
Bro, 1 second. They be catfishing me on these movies. I go in there like, okay, this movie's gonna be great. All right. Then boom, captions. They're talking all in French. I'm like, oh my god, bro. I do watch Squid Games in its original language. I watch in Korean and watch captions. The acting so much better. I hate the overdubbing on Squid Games with the American voice. It's terrible.
sometimes the dubbing is hilarious though.
I mean, it is, but Squid Games, you kind of want to get that Korean vibe so you can really feel the acting.
I do. So I lost my thought, but I'm coming back to it. So yeah, so going back to just streaming platforms, right? There's so much content. Um, but is it all good content?
No.
But now, because I'm glad you said no, right? Because now that you said no, I feel like what we would not consider good content is now actually being seen as good content. Like people like watching bad content.
Tubi. I mean, you know, with the advent of Tubi, and lots of bad content. I mean, just flood the game, and then they have all these reels you watch that are 15 seconds. I mean, they just want to capture your attention and then on to the next.
Yeah, and I feel like now a lot of people, like it be some y'all don't seen the clips. It be some ridiculous stuff that be on Tubi and like not even Tubi, but like other streaming platforms, right? And I feel like because of that, it's like we are in a period where like we know stuff is bad, but we enjoy watching it because it is bad.
I know I just don't have the time. If I watch the
So
first
I
10, like the first like 5 minutes, if I don't like it on Netflix, I just go to the next thing. So
so I'm
that's
gonna
what's great about streaming is you can watch it for a couple minutes. If it sucks, you just turn it off.
all right, I'm going to say this, but I'm not going to put a title or a name to it, right? So I recently it's you know what? That's what it is. It's like a guilty pleasure. You know, yeah, like a guilty pleasure, like
Like reality
reality
TV,
TV,
yes,
right?
exactly.
And so I recently watched a series, and when I first started watching it, I was like, "What in the world am I watching, y'all? This is just very out there, off the wall. Like this is like a mess." But I stuck with it, and I'm like, this is so just
You just want to watch it and you just want to
yeah.
see all the cringy. I understand.
And I just stuck with it, and I
It's a
watched it,
bad accident.
and now I'm just like I'm hooked, you know. And I feel like now that leads it to another topic of discussion where like as a filmmaker, you don't necessarily have to be good at making films. Like anyone can be a filmmaker, right? Like
Anybody?
it's accessible for anyone. And I feel like yeah, you should like, I feel like this kind of goes back to the what I mentioned before like even you if you have a dream if it's an idea that you want to do like you don't necessarily have to be caught up on the idea of it being great or grand or even the world's best whatever like if you have a good story and you can make it entertaining I feel like and like it's just it's the options are out there for it to do something but then I also feel like another reason why that is because is not only because of streaming services but because of like TikTok videos and reels like we watch a lot of like reenactments and stuff being acted out on reels and TikTok videos to where like psychologically that is like our entertainment so like once we see something like that even if it's shot like in a movie form, like we're just sucked into it.
Yes, 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 yes.
Do you watch TikTok?
Mm, no. I watch people perform TikToks at my on my shoots, but unless my wife sends it to me, I really don't watch TikTok.
You know what? I don't either. Like I just uh I'm not a TikTok person. And people be like, man, you need to like you got content, you need to just put it out
Yeah, I
there.
know. I'm just so
And that's why
lazy
I like
about
I
that
feel like
stuff.
yeah, I feel like you too. Like you're really good at making reels. So I'm like, man, I wonder if Yabui has a TikTok. But
I do. I try to post, but it's just so many different things. I'm trying to promote on Facebook and then Instagram, and then now we're doing a podcast on YouTube and Facebook and Apple TV and Spotify. But just so much, and it's just we're one man gangs. You have
mhm.
yourself, I have myself. I mean, we can't. It's hard to make reels for this, even though we have AI tools and everything. It's just there's so much in our lives right now, but we're gonna do it.
Y'all hold us to that because I like I don't know. I feel the same way. You know, maybe one day we're gonna shake on it right now. We're gonna move to TikTok. So y'all be on the lookout for the shot callers
TikTok.
TikTok coming out where we'll be posting reels
We're gonna do
and we
some
could even
dances.
and we could eat. I'm not gonna even pretend. And we can even maybe clip some of the clips of some of the shows and stuff that we're talking about
Yeah.
and repost them on the TikTok video. We'll work that out. But I see where we are coming up to a little over an hour today. Um, this has been a great conversation, you all.
Yes, sir.
And it is one that I definitely see us expanding on uh in the near future because I really do want to like engage with the audience members and dive into more of like the difference of like streaming and the big screen because like it's something that we're we're like I will say like your boy we have lived during a time where we have really seen technology change.
Yes, I started with 3 channels: CBS, NBC, ABC. That's it.
All right, I did too because like we didn't have cable growing up. We had satellite.
Okay.
We had like the huge satellite dish. You're a little older than me, so you might have started off with 3 channels.
3 channels, bro. With the antenna, my dad would tell me to go touch the
So
antenna, move it. We'd have to get foil
so
to make the antenna bigger.
so that's
Yeah.
how it was in my household too. So like we had satellite, right? But it only went on one TV. So
Oh.
I grew up as a kid, y'all, with the bedroom. I had my TV had knobs on it,
Mm-hmm.
and so I had to turn the TV. And
Oh Lord, that was the worst.
yeah, and there was like two different
And you
knobs.
were
So
the
you,
remote control. Whoever's are the kids in the house, they're the remote control.
yeah,
Turn the
that's
channel
how it
two.
was. I had the knob, and so with the antennas, and yeah, I was there with you. But even from that to just seeing like VHS and DVDs and
My dad thought he was cool. He got a Betamax.
what now?
It's like a VHS. It's a Sony version of VHS, slimmer, just like Blu-ray and HD video, the HD disc. They had those two, and then
Yeah.
the HD disc went out. It was like this VHS and Beta. Beta's like a smaller version, exactly like VHS, but it just didn't catch on like VHS. So
So
they
I
went out of
think I might
business.
have seen like I think I've seen one before. We didn't have one in our family, but I do remember being young and being with my dad and going to somebody's house that I think had one of those. I was kind of like I didn't know what it was. Um, but yeah, just like the technological advances we've seen, even from we thought we were doing. I remember when my family first got like a DVD player.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then from there the Blu-ray, and now we're streaming, and it's interested to see like where technology will take us in the next 10 years because like it's changing and changing so rapidly.
Mm-hmm. My first CD, Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation, 1814.
I don't remember what my first CD was,
$22. Oh my gosh, so expensive.
but I do remember having a tape player, and like my family was cheap. They ain't never. You remember back in the day, like when CDs came out or even like music came out, they came out with the singles.
Oh yeah, it's like three, $4 or $5.
Yeah, and it was like it wasn't the whole CD, but it would be like just the singles.
Single and maybe a B side.
Yeah,
Then you just play that. Then you'd have to take it out and yeah.
but I ain't have the full album though. Like I just got like the little like single, so it'd be like the main song off the actual album, and then like a remix. It'd be like a 3 single tape or
Here we go. Boom.
oh check us out.
1 for 2. Gotta keep talking.
We
And
could have
no
been
one
doing
sees
this the
me.
whole time.
I know, but I'm trying to get accustomed to doing this. So maybe I'll do this. We'll do this for the remaining of this podcast.
All right, so as we continue to close out the podcast, we will be not closing out the podcast because we have TED Talk with your boo.
Tech talk. All right, so we're shooting these movies.
All right, yeah, I wasn't really trying to close out the podcast. I'm just thirsty, but back to TED Talk with your booey.
Let me just put it on me, bro. Okay, there we go. So when we're filming these movies, the most important thing about shooting these movies is not only the visual part, it's the audio part. And what I have here are called technical syncs. This is for time code. It saves you lots of time in the editing process. And basically, what you do with these things is that you connect one of these devices right here, connect right to your camera. Let me grab a camera. sure I don't trip anything. All right. Either stick it into the little data port, but if you have an old like something like this here, connect this right into the microphone port, and it sends like a audio transmission into the camera. All right. So while you're doing that, next thing you do is you get your audio recorder, which with what your boom is connected to. So you're recording these two things separately. So right here I have my Zoom F3. What it is right here. Boom. 32-bit float. So it doesn't peak when people yell or if they talk too low. And you just hook this tentacle sync right into the little port here. And then you go into your iPhone. Let me pull this up real quick. And you go into the Tentacle Sync app. I'll pull it up right here so we can see it. Oh, it's updating. Anyways, the Tentacle Sync, there we go. Yeah, Tentacle Sync, you open that up, and then wirelessly, it's going to see the Tentacle Sync hooked up to your audio recorder as well as your camera. And once you sync it up, when you hit record, it'll sync everything together. So when you go back after shooting the film, you can go ahead and sync the sound that's recorded on this external device right to what's shot on here. What the good thing is that you can actually, whether it be film or if you're running like an event and you have like 3-4 cameras, you can actually hook up 3-4 of these to each camera, and then all the audio is going to be synced in post, like instantly, like that. You don't have to worry about lining tracks up or using that audio sync. Everything's already lined up for you. You don't have to do anything. So yeah, save time because I've done it before and after. Saves you hours and hours of time. All right, so time code. Learn about it. Go on YouTube. If you want to know any more about it, because I've been using it religiously, shooting the last few films. Where actually, I didn't even care about this little slate thing. Okay, so yeah, I mean, still want to use a slate, so you can kind of document each clip that you did, but I'm kind of lazy, so I just use time code.
No, I love this. I was really all into this tech talk, y'all, because I have not. I'm behind in the times when it comes to film. Me and Yabui talk about this all the time. So I thank you for sharing that. And can you just retell the people what the name of it is one more time for us?
Yes, it's called Tentacle Sync, but they do have one made by Deity. They have another one by Blue Sky, I believe. There's like 3 of them that everybody uses, but yeah, definitely a time saver, bro.
Yeah, because y'all, when I be recording sound, I record my sound, which is one of the problems that I'm kind of dealing with. Not really a problem, but like it's just a hassle when you're in the edit bay. So like I record my sound differently from the video, and so typically like if you do that outside of what your boo was just referring to us, when you record a movie, right, and if you don't use the time codes to have anything to sync it up with, you use the slate to try to like the time it claps is like you go off of that mark from the film and from the sound. So in the edit bay, which I'm currently into a edit stages of a previous project I was working on, uh you have to try to match the sound and sync it with the sound from the camera, and it is a headache, y'all. It is not the easiest thing to do. A lot of editing softwares now, such as DaVinci Resolve, which
Mm-hmm.
is what I use, they allow you to like, sync it with the sound wave, but you still have to kind of like work with it
I
from
nudge a
there.
little bit. Yeah, Final Cut one is terrible, bro. I don't. Never again. Shout out to Abdul PA. He worked on BMF before he helped us, or actually he worked on BMF after he helped us with Sacred,
Hmm.
and nothing was synced. I gave him all the sound clips, all right, and then every little clack of this thing right here, boom, like that. He would label each audio clip for me, scene whatever, all this information. He labeled every single clip. It was like hundreds of clips, and he did it like in a day, bro. So Abdul, you're the MVP of Sacred, bro, because I would still be editing Sacred right now if he hadn't done that for me. Because oh my gosh,
Shout out to Abdul. Give him
shout
some
out
real
to
quick.
Abdul.
Y'all,
Shout out to Chad.
shout out to Chad.
Shout out to my boy LG on What the Heart Wants and Southern Village. Holding that boom. Sometimes the boom is shot, but bro, 99% of the time, he was on point, bro. Sorry.
Shout out to him. I don't know if I met him yet.
LG's dope, man.
Shout out to you. Shout out to you.
Shout out.
But no, yeah, y'all. Sound is hard. Sound is not easy for film, and we'll talk about that. I would love to like invite some sound engineers.
Oh yeah, we gotta get Fabio in here.
Yeah, like I'm sure. Yeah, we'll try to see if we can reach out and get them. Because like each department for film has its own, you know, a lot that goes into it from sound to visuals, production design, like hair, makeup. It's a lot of just like
all that stuff's so important, bro.
specifics that go into it that like, the average person, because you just don't think about. Like I know for me, before I really like dabbled into film and really like got into the depths of everything, like I did not realize what all like
Even like catering, bro. What's that called?
crafty.
Crafting. Even
Yeah.
crafting, that's so important because everybody, man, you get so hungry, you're just sitting there for like 8 hours doing nothing.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I would love to like as we continue with this kind of like bring people in from like different departments, and allow them to share their insight on everything because it's a lot that goes into filmmaking. But when it all comes together, it makes for a dope movie
Yes, it does.
experience
Yes, it does.
that you can enjoy at home or in the movie theaters.
Yes.
And so yeah. Uh, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No final thoughts, man. I'm gonna get it together one of these days. I'm gonna bring in a long soliloquy one time, but go ahead and end us with your thought, bro.
All right. So you all, for today's final thoughts, my final thoughts are at the end of the day. I'm just talking. When folks be like, at the end of the day, they will end. But no, seriously, uh, we kind of talked about, streaming and movie theaters. So like, literally, like I always kind of say, if it's something you want to do, just do it. Um, and all right, it's coming to me. So not only do you do it how you do it, right? Um, it's a lot of people doing stuff, Like I feel like uh on social media you could probably be doing something and think like, oh man, it's not that good because you see somebody else who you may admire or you may just y'all might be from the same city or whatever doing stuff, but you have to realize that not only are they doing what they're doing, but you can be doing what you're doing as well. And nobody, like I said before, can do what you do but you. And so do it and do it well and be proud of what you do because, like, when making a film and making art in general, you have to be confident in yourself. And confidence will speak through your work and your work will make room for you.
All right, so I want to cheat, bro. I want to get in this final thought game. So while you were saying that, I want to chat GPT. Now here's my final thought.
No, AI.
Yes. Okay. I need to get accustomed to doing this. So I haven't even read it yet. I just typed in a little prompt. So let me read my chat GPT thought. Final thoughts. So is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. Until I can think of my own.
No, it's great.
All right, here we go. Every frame we shoot, it's a chance to tell the truth, move hearts, and leave a legacy. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it, capture it, and share it. Because the world needs your story exactly the way only you can tell it. Dope, bro.
That's exactly what I just said.
Okay, let's chat. Okay, ChatGPT was probably listening to
No,
you.
no, I'm not gonna kill your mama. That was great. I just
I
want
mean,
to be.
ChatGPT is great.
Didn't nobody come to see you, Yabui?
Yes, they did.
Yabui. They waiting on who next.
You know, my son goes to Pine Forest High School.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be just chilling in class. Out of nowhere, the other students just out of nowhere, just randomly, they'll just
Yabui. They waiting on who next.
during
It's
class.
iconic, bro. But no, that was a good one. And y'all definitely like for real. All jokes aside, be sure to just let that soak in. Because it's true. You know, nobody can do what you do but you. So
Exactly.
do you, boo.
Ain't no one come to see you, Otis. Nobody.
But in fact, did they come to see Otis before we get off real quick?
No, they came to see Deborah Ruffin, bro. The talent, bro.
No, this has been a good night, y'all. But for sure, before we sign out, y'all be sure to tune in with us every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, unless we have something coming up, which we will let you all know about that. But from now on, just tune in every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for updates on what's going on with us and behind the scene exclusive content. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram on the Shot Callers Podcast, as well as maybe coming soon, TikTok. But don't hold us to that one. But for now, follow us on our Facebook page, on our Instagram page at the Shot Callers Podcast. Give us some likes, y'all. Like our comment. We're gonna try to be more engaging with our social media presence. So y'all be sure to leave a comment and talk with us. We'll talk back and comment back with y'all. Also, if you're on the go and you can't listen to social media or watch us, you can now stream us exclusively on Spotify. And not only Spotify, you can also listen to
I'm
us
sorry, Apple
on
Music.
Hey. So y'all, yeah, because we need to get our followers up over there too. So y'all, if y'all got a Spotify or if you have Apple Podcasts, go follow us on the Shot Callers Podcast and listen to us and share it with a friend, tag a friend, join in on the conversation. Because we not only like to speak to you, but we like to hear from you as well. So we've shared our final thoughts for the night. It has been a great time. Thank y'all for listening. Uh, and I'm turning it over to Yabui to close us out.
Yabui. They waiting on who next.